My boy Migi just died in this episode. Like, he's not 100% gone, but Migi, the main body that we've got to know and love, died in this episode of Parasyte. I did not expect that. Like, I did not expect something like that, let alone, now. Like, if they were gonna pull a move like that, if, Migi was going to die, I expected him to die maybe on the final episode. The final battle between Izumi versus Goto. I expected something like that. I didn't expect Migi to die in this episode. Like, I walked into this episode not thinking Migi was gonna die. Like, I thought it was gonna be an awesome tactic battle type episode and all that. All of a sudden, you see it to where Migi forces Izumi to run away. He's like, save your own life, and then he dies in the process. It's a very, 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 very sad moment, because there's a lot you can take from that scene when it comes to what Migi did. Migi's always, prioritized himself above everything else, but in this act, from what Migi did in this episode, he prioritized Izumi's life more than his. And what went even further was seeing how Migi says, like, I'm glad I didn't steal your brain. I'm glad I got Oli in your hand. I'm glad I got to meet you. And that right there, that is so sad and tragic, because Migi, he finally admits his true feelings to Izumi. He finally admits it. Even though Izumi didn't hear it, he finally admits to himself how he truly feels about Izumi, and he finally puts someone above his own life. That's exactly what he does in this episode, and it's sad. It's so sad to see how Migi just gave up his life like that. I mean, he saved Izumi. And let's just hope this doesn't have an extreme tragic ending when it comes to Parasyte, because this is a seinen, and seinen series usually stuff like this, it ends in some form of tragedy, and so let's just hope that Izumi survives this battle between Goto and him. But, I mean, we still have some form of shed of hope in this episode, so I don't know 100% if Migi is gone or not. In this episode, we see how Izumi goes inside of his brain when he's dreaming, and he sees a cell of Migi, and he starts talking to it, and then, the cell of Migi, as we can assume, says like, oh, he's still alive, or whatever. I could sense it and all that, so I'm guessing he is probably talking about the other cells inside of Izumi's body, because, I mean, he still does have a lot of Migi still left inside of him, so it might be possible Migi could come back and, reform together. Maybe that's possible, I have no idea, but that's what I'm feeling like it's hinting towards, because the build-up to this, brain sequence inside of Izumi's head with dreams and stuff has been ongoing for quite a long time, since almost the beginning of Parasyte, and so to see how, once again, it was mentioned, and you see how Izumi starts, talking about his dead friend Migi, as you know, and so we have to wonder, is Migi really dead? Is it going to be possible that all the cells inside of Izumi can come together and maybe form Migi again? I mean, we have no idea, but just seeing how the main body of Migi just, shriveled up in this episode, and when he says, like, is this what death feels like? When he says that, man, yo, that's sad as fuck, dude. Like, you just see the animation and the atmosphere around it, and, like, it's slowly just going darker in that panel, like that one scene, and then as it grows darker, you see his eyes just, deteriorating and stuff, shriveling up. It was sad. It was so sad seeing that something like that done to Migi. And so, that's pretty much the first half of the episode. Just showcases Migi doing a valiant sacrifice for his body, or the person he cares about, Izumi. So, we lost a good character in this episode. And I'm going to assume that either he's dead, or it's possible that Izumi could get him back because of the cells inside. That's the only way. So yeah, we'll have to see how next episode goes, but let's talk about the second half. So the second half of the episode, it focuses on a grandma, and this grandma gets introduced in this episode, and we get a lot of, downtime in the second part, probably the final downtime we are going to get for Parasyte for the remainder of the series. Since we only have, like, 2 episodes left, I think we only have 2 episodes left of Parasyte, I'm willing to bet that this episode, this final half of the episode, was the final downtime, the final slow episode we are going to get for Parasyte, and I'm willing to bet that the rest of the episodes are going to hit the pedal to the metal when it comes to the plot, the conclusion, the main aspects of what the series is about, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what direction and conclusion Parasyte's going to have in these next 2 episodes, because I wonder if it can answer a lot of these questions I have about the series, where the Parasytes came from, to, like, more answers and questions about, the humans that are are able to sense other parasites. Like, hopefully we get more answers to that. You know, I just hope some of these questions do get answered in these next couple episodes. And so, one thing I will have to say, though, when it comes to this episode, I could see how some could say that the second half is slow, but I felt like it was needed. We needed this calm before the storm, before we get into the final confrontation between Goto and Izumi. This was definitely needed in this episode, just having a gradual build-up, getting to see how Izumi accepts the death of his friend, how Izumi learns to move on, and how he needs to prioritize his life too. He needs to make sure he realizes his life is important and he should not sacrifice himself, because there's probably people out there that do care about him, Murano for instance. And so in the episode, Izumi kind of learns that he needs to live, and also he needs to continue walking forward and tackle this monster Goto face to face. So I'm looking forward to seeing the conclusion of the series, or the conclusion of this fight, or whatever's going to happen. We'll have to see. How do you all think it's going to go down in the next episode of Parasyte? You all have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.